tahan vaadata ometi vabalt, kuid mul silmi pole seal. Võtan kätte ja keerutan saba, kas nüüd hakkab hea? Seisan ikka veel siinsamas, teadmata, kas lahkungi. Võtan kätte ja keerutan saba ja tervitan sind uuesti.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to probably the earliest stream I've ever done in my career of having a YouTube channel or a Twitch channel or whatnot. But yeah, there is a very good reason for that. It is because I am busy tonight. I need to go on a pretty long drive to visit my family, who are living in a city quite far away from mine. It's a 2-hour drive, and I don't want to arrive there in the middle of the night. So I need to leave at like 6 p.m. and right now it's 4 p.m. and I want to make sure that I've listened to the songs competing in the Estonian national final before it actually takes place tomorrow. So I figured I got 2 hours here now to get through all of the songs, get to know them, and yeah, tell you what I think of them, and if we have a potential winner here. I've understood there's a weird concept going on in Estonia this year, that 5 songs are already in the final for whatever reason, and then 15 others are gonna fight for spots to get into that final. Pretty strange system, but whatever works for them there. I'd feel very if you're pre-qualified, I feel like that's it's very unfair, but hey ho, I guess they're pre-qualified for a reason. Either way, I've already prepared all of the songs to listen to. The only thing is that I do not know if they are in a particular order. I think, yeah, if the songs that I listen to are pre-qualified, I do not know. I'm just gonna get through all 20 of them is really the plan here. And I'll tell you what I think of them. And I've already prepared so that the audio should be way better today than it was last time we listened to a national final. The jury gets to choose 5 songs on their own, and then they still get input for the semi-final qualifiers. Okay, very strange system, but I don't know what to say about it, really. I will now put up on screen this Here you can see we have song number 1. You can see it already on the screen. We're gonna just get straight to it. I understand that a lot of people are still at work and stuff today, and for those I apologize that I'm streaming before you got home, but we still have 55 people here, and the whole watch along thing will be posted in like after it's done, so you can still see it afterwards. So yeah, we're gonna start with song number 1, which is called Lately. You can see, I hope maybe you can see it on the screen already, and it's by Silver Jusilo, who is the artist for this one. And as I've already prepared the audio, I still need you to let me know if it's too quiet or too loud, because maybe I'm completely off. But I think it should be good today. Let's get right into it with song number 1, Lately by Silver Jusilo, and let's listen to it. So what we start off is with a very distinct percussion, filtered out vocal to introduce the song. Crisp vocal in the middle here. Nice tone so far. Good vocal layering. Nice little arpeggio, building some energy in the background as well, and it's filtering in velocity, like going up and down in velocity, which is quite nice. Has a very crushing sound on it as well. Ooh, playful rhythmic arrangement there, and I think the vocal layering is really strong. This minimalistic instrumental approach is actually quite interesting. Back in the verse, solid flow. It's very pleasant so far to listen to. I quite enjoy it. But it needs an elevation leading somewhere. Yeah, it's a strong flow to it. I'm very fond of his voice truly as well. It really works contrasting with this arrangement. Chorus is identical to the first one. Oh, okay, here comes the kick drum in, building a little bit of energy. Arpeggio is building it as well. Would have probably expected like some more fulfilling rhythm here. That's enjoyable. Yeah, strong layering there with the synth as well. I like this real sentimental tone in the song as well. I gotta say, Mr. Jusilo here, that is a lovely opening for this watch-along session, really. Very minimalistic, could definitely just go under the radar because of it, and I'm struggling to see how it will really work when you see it live, but it has a wonderfully pleasant soundstage to it, I think. It's dynamic, it has a very distinct percussion, the synth work is actually quite strong even though it's so restrained. I think mainly, I think there's a nice sound design behind it, and just how distinct all of the instrumental input is in it is what works for me. It's not one of these like outstanding songs in any regard that I'm just left impressed by, but it's just very pleasant. I could listen to that at any time and not really like I would probably never turn it off. It's just a nice chugging along tune with some interesting detailing to it, strong vocal layering. It's an interesting package, and I'm looking forward to see how this one will look live, because I think there's a lot of potential in this one, and his voice sounds great. I think we're off to a good start. That was really neat. Thank you for the song Lately, Silver Jusilo. We're moving on. Song number 2, or we're not watching song number 2. We're watching Lingongrova, a commercial for bread in Sweden. And this is only the first ad we're watching. Here is number 2, Sector Alarm. Indeed. Alright, there we go. Song number 2 is, okay, I guess a favorite. I'm just judging by the sake that It's performed by Ollie, who of course was a huge fan favorite last year with his song Venom. This one is called My Friend, and this will be song number 2. I quite enjoyed Venom last year, so I think that I'm in for something that I will enjoy here again, but hopefully at least. And let's hope that he can meet his expectations, because I think a lot of people have probably put high expectations on him. What was his song last year? Sorry. Venom! Okay. Should we just get right into song number 2, My Friend, by Ollie. Let's go. Quite the engaging opening here, the silence. An emotionally tangible piano opening. Nice playing on it. Pausing. Strong impact hit there. It's a very atmospheric setting. Those just impact hits are very effective here. It's building a really engaging atmosphere so far. The diction is a little hard for me to connect with. It's a lot of just crushing sound in his voice here. If that's done in production, it's a bit strange. It's a strong impact on the guitars and everything, but there's a lot of loudness in this. It's quite gritty. I'm not sure that instant contrast of this sentimental opening leading into that aggressive chorus. It's very instant, and I think his singing isn't really that clear so far, and there's a lot of just compression on his voice, which contrasts a bit too much with the instrumental for me. Drumming is effective. Nice little harmony there. It's very bright in the back. It's very much up and down between the segments as well. He's utilizing the more intimate sections a bit too much, maybe. It feels like, in terms of structure, it feels a little like Too Late for Love. Obviously that's in the only regard, but the structure is very much up and down. Strong breakdown segment here. Guitar riffs are very impactful here. Nice additional melody leading into the final chorus. This is a nice flow to this segment. There's an insane punch in this part, really. Quite an abrupt ending there as well, but this is definitely a very impactful song altogether. It has the energy, it has the drive, it has the grittiness. I think that it absolutely is a very redeeming and deserved follow-up for Venom. But what I feel is that I'm lacking a little bit of the structure within this song, because I feel like it's very much up and down. It doesn't really have that steady flow between the segments, and I understand that you really want to utilize contrast to build up intensity and to make it more impactful. However, I feel like they're maybe overdone just a little bit. The first hit for the first chorus is very straight to the point. It doesn't really lead into it. I don't think it feels very earned to come with all of that approach instantly. And then I think for the final part, it's actually quite underwhelming after the second chorus, how it kills off completely. There's no finesse really about leading into this breakdown segment towards the end. which I am a little bit disappointed by, because what comes after it is is a very, very strong bridge leading into the final chorus. The guitars are working very, very effectively here. The riffs are strong. The drive in the instrumental is very, very palpable. I feel like the processing on the guitars is heavy, just to the right degree, and it leads very, very smoothly into the final chorus, which actually has a melody that grew on me as the song progressed. First up, like first time around, it didn't really feel like it had the catchiness of a Venom or even a Monsters from Bedwetters last year. I guess maybe I shouldn't compare it too much to songs that I've heard more times than this one, but it didn't feel like it had the same instant hook like those songs had, but it definitely has the intensity and it has the engagement, and I think it's a set and sure qualifier for their little final, if it's not already there. But I'm not sure if it's going to... I mean, maybe he'll get that treatment like, oh, you were so good last time and we should have sent you then, so now we're going to send you this time just to compensate. I'm not sure. But I think in this effort, it feels like he's trying to do more with the vocal than last year, and I'm not really clicking with that. It feels like there's a lot of compression on his vocal performance in this song, and of course that's not going to really matter when you hear it live, because then he's going to nail the vocals, and that's not really going to be that poignant, I guess. But when I listen to it in studio cut, it feels like his voice is really clipping. It's compressed so heavily that it kind of has a little scratch mark on it when he goes all out, and that can hold it back a little bit in order for me to have like a replayability to the song. However, overall, I am of course enjoying it. I am a rock fan, very, very deep, or not deep down. I am a rock fan, simple as, and I've loved it all the time. But yeah, there are probably improvement areas in this song, according to my opinion. And yeah, we'll see how it's gonna go for them. But I did enjoy that. We'll move on. Maybe we'll have another ad, who knows. We're going to song number 3. Indeed, we have an ad. We have from Arla. This is a cow, and this is all about milk. Yes, indeed. This is definitely what you came out for the stream for, to watch a bunch of ads. Oh, and dog food. Great. Denta sticks. Alright. Next song up, song number 3. This one is called Serotonin, but serotonin with 2 I's. So maybe that could be the Estonian spelling of it. Who knows? Would be nice to have now, after 2 songs in English, maybe a song in Estonian. The song is by Anett Vaikmaa, and she's got some very glittery pants or skirt, I can't really see from here, and very silvery and tall boots. Anyway, and she's also got an electric guitar and quite the spots around her. It's a very effective opening shot. It really sets the tone. So yeah, song number 3, Serotonin by Anett Vaikmaa. Let's listen to it. Oh, or let's not. No, let's listen to it. Getting a little bit of a pop-punk vibe here. Strong combination of bass and drums here. The drums came in nicely there with the snare on the half beat. Quite straight to the beat in the guitar arrangement so far. Vocal layering. It's quite soft. Has a lot of reliance on these synth hits being like rhythmic detailing. That's a nice little playful rhythmic switch up. It's utilizing pausing very well. Yeah, the flow is definitely there, and I feel like there's a little bit of a playful work with the structure, especially with pauses. Chord interval is very straight to the point, really, but it sounds decent, you know? It's quite pleasant so far. That's a nice little like palm muted guitar strum leading into the chorus as well. Just quite a nice melody to it, really. There's something a bit sad in it, I feel, but the instrumental really kind of builds some kind of hope into it. That's a nice combination of emotions, really. It's a very... Okay, never mind. I felt like it was kind of a straight to the point guitar solo, but it switched up a little bit there for the final part. And again, I think there's playful drum fills and things leading into each other. There's a great smoothness to the track. These pads are almost overbearing, I'm not gonna lie. They would have toned them down a little bit, I think. Solid drum fill again. And now the synths are too loud here. They take over too much. Yeah, another one of these very abrupt endings, but I think the song absolutely has something going for it. There is something, like, there is a very fine balance within how to structure your song, because what I think this one is really quite admirable about is that it kind of goes all out throughout the whole thing. There's a very strong smoothness between the segments. It flows so naturally, but when it does that and it doesn't really have a moment to breathe or switch up or anything like that, then it feels like the song kind of maybe goes on for longer than it should. And that could obviously be an issue, because if I could definitely see people think that it's a little too long, and maybe then it's better to kind of cut the song a little bit short. But at the same time, maybe you don't feel like it's evolving enough throughout the track, and then maybe what you need to do is like add some sort of variation, add some sort of expansion to the song. And I feel like they did that with these pads and synths at the towards the end, but they kind of became overbearing because there wasn't really any space in the soundstage for that to be implemented. So I think there's like polishing work to be done here, and maybe that could lead into more of an impact later on if it's being looked at. I gotta say that the hook is decent. I think the instrumental has some sort of kind of interesting point to it. I just don't really know if I will definitely be able to remember this song as much as others, because it kind of ponders along, and it's a little bit of the same thing throughout. There's not really that kind of expansion or that kind of immediate grab, I guess, that gravitates towards me. So maybe it loses out just a little bit on that, but still enjoyable. We're not really having anything that I dislike so far. This was decent as well. So we'll see how that one's gonna look live, but I think it needs some sort of extra evolution to really imprint itself on people. We'll see. Estonian language is obviously always really nice to have as well. That makes it a little bit different to the others. We'll move on to song number 4. No ad this time, thankfully. This is Inga's song No Dog on a Leash, which, well, could be just about anything, really. Song number 4 is what it is, though. It's by Inga, and let's hear what No Dog on a Leash sounds like.
No dog on a leash.
That's an instrumental approach that I can jig. It's a very palpable synth work. And this kind of really distinct hi-hat works well. Contrasting beat coming in on the backbeat here. These rhythms are working very strongly. Descending kind of synth goes very eerie here. Effectively written here. It's building with a lot of engagement so far. Such like a fulfilling feel every time the beat really kicks in. These impacts, they grow grander and grander for every time. I feel like it's definitely building towards something really nice. And it's a very lively soundstage as well, with sounds moving all over. Great dynamic in this segment. Just breathing out, suffocate. Ah, not this time. Still. Arpeggio comes in quite neatly here as well. The flow of the song is definitely there. I wonder if it's gonna keep growing, because I feel like it might need that. It could grow really interesting if they allow it to expand even more. Feels like there's a little bit of an extra percussion there. Very kind of a snappy sound to it that's kind of stuck at the very front of the soundstage. Strong harmonies there, also with the panning. Breathe, hold. That's really effective. Now this kind of house danceable piano has joined, electric piano has joined in as well. I would have definitely preferred it to go even grander. I feel like it stays a little bit too much in the same area here. It grew so promisingly early on. The panning comes in here, backing vocals. Very convincing. It's a lot of detailing going on now. Very, very entertaining. No Dog on a Leash. That was really interesting. I think the sound design is very reminiscent of Jew. If you know his stuff, this song Faded and Nightcrawler and those kind of songs. It's a very dark vibe. The synth works are very they're really the things that are working the most. Percussion is quite strong. I think the sound design is spot on. The production quality is very, very strong, and everything is really being allowed its space within the whole soundstage of this song. Vocally, it starts off quite promising, but it never really goes with that elevation that I feel like it may be needed. So I'm not sure what to make of that, because I feel like the song stays a little bit too much in the same place, which is unexpected considering how much I felt like the opening minute or so just allowed the song to build and grow and expand and become more intriguing. But it held back a little bit, I feel, as the song progressed, but it's still very enjoyable, and I feel like there's a lot of potential here for a very strong performance, utilizing lights and shadows in a very effective manner. I hope they nail that, and I hope the vocals really become have a very compelling delivery when I see it. I would be optimistic about this one because I think it has a very unique style. It's engaging, quite a captivating tone to it, and it definitely is a thing of its time as well. And this dark, clubby vibe to the song, while still being a bit emotional and restrained, I feel like there's something in that just really speaks to me. So I did like that. No Dog on a Leash was definitely something that I did enjoy. I'll say that much. We'll continue forward here. We have Udo Sepp and Sarah Murray with an official music video for the song Still Love. I hope it's not the other way around, that they are called Still Love and the song is called Udo Sepp and Sarah Murray. No, obviously that wouldn't be the case, surely. Anyway, the song Still Love is song number 5 we will listen to, and let's just get right to it.
The lights, so I can see you better. I might try and turn back the clock to your old room.
It's a vocal that's being very focused, very central, quite characteristic, very soft voice. Well, she's at a completely different place and they used a completely different camera. That's a neat melody.
Like you are. High school sweethearts, you break into a million parts. Still love, still love.
I think you would have benefited from not including the lyrics on the screen. I didn't really need to get them told at me. Decent how the drums come in here. I think he has a really soft voice that I'm very fond of, honestly. A little bit of a harmony there with the piano. Yeah. Drumming is decent here. I think the melody has something to it. It's just pleasant. I just really... This high school sweethearts can break into a million parts part. I'm not really enjoying that line. It just sounds off to me. Strong continuation here. Vocals taking over. There's some really nice, like, just collective sound to that part as the chorus progressed there. Now we're back kind of on, you know, this intimate part. That's a nice little bass sweep leading for the final chorus. When everything comes together, it feels quite strong. That's the most unnecessary chorus of all time, surely. What was that, 5 seconds? The final one? No, you messed that up. Allow the song to have more time for that final chorus, because you've been building towards this finale and then you allow us to hear it for 5 seconds before cutting it off. That's not how you write a song. Ask Alexander Rybak. No, but it's truly like when the song really kicks off and when it has something going for it, I feel like there is actually quite a lot of promise within it. And I think they sound decent in this version as well. I hope they sound good live, because I think there's something in his voice that is very soft and quite... pleasant about it. I could definitely listen to an album of his to just have on in the background and be pleasant. But the song feels a little too up and down, I guess. It also quite feels a bit on the, what would you say, like the simple solution side of things. It's also not really structured in that more impressive way, I guess. I think that final chorus is really, really underwhelming, because that's not, you've been building towards the final chorus throughout the entire song, really. I mean, we got a little hint of it after the second one, but this final chorus, because you kill off the music, you make it really intimate and sweet, and you build towards this very, very grand finale, and then we get that, which was absolutely not very, very nice, because I can't really use my adjectives here. But when you're building towards a chorus and you allow it to play for 5 seconds before cutting it off and killing the song, that's you doing a mistake when you've written the song. I'm sorry, but that's not how you go about things. Amateur mistake, in my opinion. Not mesmeric enough. No, definitely not. We'll move on. We have we have 15 songs to go. We'll be here for a while. We've been streaming for 30 minutes, and we've got 15 more songs to go. All right, let's see what will be up next. Does Estonia have such mountains? I'm not sure. I have no idea. But yeah, it's also very strange. Like, this music video is filmed with 2 completely different qualities of camera, and it just feels so put together. Like, I saw a comment before, like, have these 2 people even met? And it doesn't really feel like it. Hopefully they will both be on stage when they're gonna perform it, though. Okay, next up, here is Laura Pöldvere. Here's where I draw the line. Me too, Laura. Here's where I draw the line. Do not make a chorus that lasts for 5 seconds. Sarah Murray lives in Chile, so they recorded remotely. Yeah, that makes sense. That absolutely makes sense. All right, Laura Pöldvere, here's where I draw the line. let's hear let's hear where it is you draw the line, because now you piqued my interest. Let's go. Okay. We've got a metronome kicking off the song. That's never really a good sign, unfortunately. This sounds like a leaky faucet. Why have we auto-tuned this to such an extreme? Alright. The piano is very straight to the beat so far. Vocally not really speaking to me yet. Let's hope it builds into something. So we got vocal layering layered with a very warm string arrangement. This kind of bell impact is not really working for me either. It feels very mellow. Now we're throwing in some kind of R&B beat to it. And this auto-tune process vocal part is really throwing me off. And now it tries to be really grand. We got these huge drums and the strings being very intense in their playing. It's like very staccato reliant here, and there's so much reverb on the drums. There's a lot of some strange little bass work here to harmonize with the vocal. And this metronome is back, and it's... I don't get the instrumental approach they're going for here. The rhythm isn't very consistent either, unfortunately. Huge drums now. I'm sorry, but you haven't earned this part. But I guess, some vocal acrobatics. I'll let her have your moment. I'm back with this processing. No, please. I'm sorry, Laura, but here's where I draw the line. This song, go back to the drawing board, because the whole structure of it, the whole approach that you've taken, it's not anywhere close to being where it should be. First off, it's never a good sign when you start off a song with a metronome. That is never good, but it could work if you actually build around it. But here, it feels like the song doesn't really know what it wants to do. It wants to be grand, it wants to just have a strong impact for the final chorus. She wants to show off a little bit of a vocal showcase towards the end, but everything you've been building up towards that point hasn't really led into anyone getting that invested into it. Or I'm saying anyone, I shouldn't say that, because maybe someone really is invested to it. But I think majority of people will not connect with this song because of how it's structured and how it flows forward. All of these parts with this very heavily processed voice backing her up, it is very strange. It's what can we say? Like, that kind of throws me off a little bit. And then the verses are so contrasting because they are so mellow and kind of under the radar. It's not really that interesting. In the verses, and then because of that, I feel like the parts contrast each other, and neither of them really interest me. And if it actually has something that interesting about it, it's just off-putting. And then you combine the two, the structure isn't flowing that really that well. And when a new segment is being introduced, the drums are either overdoing it or not doing it enough. There's really no like finesse or carefulness about the arrangement at all. And then when we lead into the final chorus where they really want it to be grand, the drums go very expansive and she's showing off her vocal. I don't feel like we've really got into this place in a just manner. Yeah, quite an off-putting entry altogether, truly. So yeah, here's where I draw the line. I'm moving on to the next song. Song number 7 here is Vi köper din bil.se. Sorry about this. We'll just wait for this commercial or this ad to end here. I just realized I think I need to do... Yeah, that's better. Even more commercials, huh? Best Coke ever. Alright. Okay, here we have Daniel Levy. Well, he's got more hair than the Daniel Levy that I know of. But Daniel Levy here has taken a break from his... no, whatever. Okay, Daniel Levy here. He's gonna sing Over the Moon. And it's another official music video. We got the grayscale out, so I'm excited to see the emotional impact that this one may have. We'll see if that's going to be the case. Either way, we're going Over the Moon with Daniel Levy, song number 7. Let's go.
You said the cloud looks like a rocket. I turn around and I'm looking up, but it's already gone. I feel the earth underneath me shaking, a silly smile that won't go away, but hold on to that song.
It's a very professional sounding vocal. The piano has a little bit of energy to it. Quite a pleasant arrangement so far.
We can make it go. Last night I dreamt I jumped over the moon.
That is effective. That's really effective.
Floating around, I felt just like a fool. I should have known.
This is a very strong part. I'm listening to every word.
I'll sing it like a lullaby. Close your little
Rhythm building in nicely here. Has a very warm sound to it.
your side.
He sings this great.
And if you want, hold me like the world's on fire. Rest your pretty head on mine, and I'll be at your side.
Yeah, great melody, beautiful.
I heard a noise like the roar of thunder. We got scared and we ran for cover.
Wait, are we really only gonna stay with the piano? Okay, cue the strings. We definitely need some percussion in this. But it's well written so far. Feels very lush, very colorful.
And all of your worries and all of the rain, it'll help us grow. Last night I dreamt I jumped over the moon.
I can see myself coming back to this a lot. It's beautifully written. It's a melody that really works for me. And his voice is impeccable. He feels like a proper pro. And the strings are being incorporated very balanced. And this B section of the chorus, so engaging in the rhythm. I like it. The piano is really building its own kind of energy into it. His voice is bouncing neatly off it. That's a great combination of harmonies here. It's beautiful. Oh, the song is over there. Alright, a bit of a freaky little ending there. Alright, lovely, beautifully written, truly. I think that it could definitely come across as a little bit pretentious, but I don't feel any of that. I just feel like it's someone who really wants to put his emotion into his music, and I think that it's very cleverly done. So there's a nice purpose to the entire song. Each segment leads so effortlessly into the next, which I'm quite intrigued by. I was kind of saying throughout the review that I really want them to add percussion so that it actually gets elevated or something, but it didn't really need it because the piano took over entirely. It still felt very, like it was definitely very restrained throughout the entire song. Never really increased in velocity. It just increased in rhythm and actually created something quite bouncy for the background to bounce, to go along with his vocal style. And I think the melody of the song, or the variation of melodies really, is quite an engaging, are quite engaging truly. The first part of the chorus has a very nice flow leading into it from those verses, but what I really think sells it is the B section of the chorus, how it so effortlessly goes in after the first half really, and there's a new kind of rhythm being established there. There's a new energy to the intonation of it, and it just feels so properly written, and the production quality is stunning truly. They've definitely put in a lot of effort with, I mean, it's a very simple song instrumentation wise. There's not really a lot there, but it's just more like every instrument is doing such a massive part to put the song really neatly together. And I would say that mixing when it's like not really that many instruments in the song might not be that difficult, you could argue, but that doesn't mean that it's that it shouldn't be applauded when the mixing sounds perfect, which it really does here, I think. There's never really a moment where I feel like something is overly compressed, something is too quiet, something is clashing with something else in the song. Everything just feels like it's working in tandem, and that is really the main thing about this. I think it's professionally made, I think it's competent, I think it's honestly beautiful, and I'm gonna be sitting down and listening to this song tons. I already know. That's a favorite of mine, definitely. Beautiful song, really. I'm cheering for you, Daniel. At least for you to get in the final, and then we'll see if there is anything that I prefer over you as we go through the rest of the songs. Let's see. Song number... I've kind of lost track. Is it 8? We're not halfway through yet, at least. We got a snowy forest here. I'll take a little quick sip before we continue. So yeah, the snowy forest, I can look out my window and see the exact same things almost. So, Nelelis Vaiksu with Kete Ymberje. Terribly sorry to anyone who speaks Estonian in here. I just butchered your language, and I will keep doing it through the rest of the reviews as well. But yeah, Nelelis Vaiksu, Kete Ymberje. Let's go. The piano opening sounded beautiful. That's a very bright sounding piano. And I like the intensity of it as well, while still having a soft kind of palette to it. Effect work not really working for me there. Felt like stock sounds. That's a pretty decent drive being thrown in here. The piano is effective. I think the vocal really works. The impact of the drum is very soft so far, but vocal harmonies are alright, I guess. Back on the half beat here for the verse. We've got a little bit of a very distinct percussion thrown in there. Only one hit so far though. 2. Yeah, drums come in nicely here again, building energy to it, but it's very soft. Yeah. This segment has something to it. I think the verses are very lifeless, unfortunately. But the chorus has probably a melody that I think works mainly down to how the vocal is delivered in it. And I guess I like the kind of hectic energy of the piano. Structure isn't really working for me either. It's very much up and down, and I don't really feel like it's benefiting the song in any regard. Right. Didn't really feel natural, that. There's quite like something emotional within it that they want to establish, but I'm not feeling it. That's the issue, I guess. Vocally it's strong. She's good. There's a lot of elevation in the melody, really. It's relying a lot on just being an increased version of itself, I guess. Alright, that was Ketimbuye, and I don't know, it's gonna kind of get lost in the middle of all of the competition, I guess, because it's a little bit unfortunate in that regard, because I feel like it has things going for it, absolutely. There is a point to the song, she sings it great, there is a melody there that I can really grow fond of. Maybe I'm a little bit blinded as well, though, by the music video and like the beautiful sights in it. That could always be an issue with music videos, because I feel like maybe I'm not really paying attention to the issues I may have with the song, because I didn't really connect with that very much. And it's not really like a lyrical barrier, because you deliver emotion through music, and I didn't really quite feel it. There was something very neat in how the piano really opened the song, and I liked how there was a constant energy within the piano, but it kind of just felt like it was filtered back, and then as the song really progressed, it felt like there wasn't really any kind of focus on its actual impact. It felt a little bit of a like a deviating song. Is that an expression? I'm not sure, but it didn't really connect with me. I don't mind a ballad like this, but it needs something to really stick, and this one didn't have it, unfortunately. How many songs are left? Loads. I think we're on song number 8. I think that was. Next song up we're gonna listen to is Blocket Jobb. Sorry about all of these ads. Someone's gonna get their head chopped off. Just counted, that was the 8th song. Okay, good. I've kept track then as well. Thank you, Sean, for letting me know. You can you be my my counter in case I need it? Another commercial. All right. Det enkla livet I köket. Alright, song number 9 then. This is 5 minust and Pulup, and the song is called Nendest Narkotikumidest Eithea me Kulmidagi. I will never repeat that title for the rest of my life, so hope you enjoyed it when I said it for the first time, because that's the only time. Okay, let's see what you got. 5 minust and Pulup. Song number 9. Hey. Alright. It's a strong beat in that. I think there's like a palm muted guitar adding a little bit of an additional rhythm to that, which is quite nice. Expansive soundstage already. A lot of detailing in it. Feels very lively. Instrumentally quite interesting. This is a nice way to build, absolutely. Drags in a lot of people. Energy of the percussion here comes in very strongly, convincingly. A proper fun hook. Great drive in this. It's so effortless. The chord interval, simple, but works so brilliantly in just establishing a great backdrop for this kind of chorus to really work on. And their styling is obviously a part of the aspect that makes everything work in it. sounds stunning as well. The production quality is top tier. What a great groove to it, truly. It's an instant foot tapper as well. There's something about this rhythm in the vocal as well. It just works. Everything comes together in the most smooth and understanding way. Effective build here, filtering out the instrumental but maintaining like this chanting. Talharpa lessons with dance. What a great hook, truly. It's just this proper engagement from the instrumental that really kicks it into gear. And they've got like a winning concept already with the choreo, with the intriguing instrumentation, and the energy is top tier. The structure works so effortlessly as well. Yeah, I'd take up those classes, honestly. Of course, like, I get it. People will roll their eyes and think that, oh, this is just a joke entry. It's absolutely not. It's so professionally executed that I'm actually very, very impressed. It has so much more things going for it than other other songs that I would consider to be a bit more joke entry-esque from previous years. Like, the first one I just think of in my head is the Give That Wolf a Banana, which just had a very up-chopped structure, not really working with the flow. Here I think everything is just working for the concept of presenting a polished pop tune with a fun twist to it. And that is really what these kind of songs should be all about. It's properly convincing. It has great energy to it. There's a constant drive within the instrumental that I can't get enough of, truly. And I think the way that the song builds and holds back throughout the entire song is definitely something that should be admired, because there's a proper purpose to every part of the song. I think it opens very effectively. I'm dragged in from the first second. The way that the percussion keeps building throughout the song and then just maintains this very convincing energy throughout the song, it becomes very, very enjoyable. And then they have their own charm that they really present with us. They think what they're doing is really fun, and that means that we get invited into being a part of all that fun that they're having. It feels very warm, very inviting, incredibly charming, and while also being quite the danceable banger, really. I mean, if this went on at the dance floor, I mean, I would be dancing instantly, because it has that energy to it. It has that proper foot tapping swing to the song, and the production quality is just so convincing that I feel like I can't really fault anything going on in the song. It's a proper full package, and I loved every second of it. I gotta say, this is among the most impressive songs within this style that I've heard. It's very, very strong. They know what they're doing, and they went all out, and that just makes it work. It's very much within the vein of songs that feel like they want everyone to have a good time. They want to entertain everyone. They want everyone to just enjoy themselves, and they also know exactly what they're doing in terms of their music. I think like we have a lot of examples, I think, in Sweden with artists that are doing these kind of fun songs that everyone is just there to enjoy, but they're not really professional musicians usually. They might sing poorly. They might have a little bit of a too polished sound because it feels a bit like songwriting camp music. Here I think they went all out with the fun, and they had so much fun putting it together as well. And I can hear that in it. Sean Banan, good example, I guess. Samir and Victor is an example that I think of instantly. So yeah, I don't know. I'm impressed. I really am. I think this could be the one. I hope that it's gonna be good live. I hope that it's really gonna be good live. It's because if it's performed live on the stage, this is a Eurovision contender, of course, and it would be a very, very strong contender in the actual Eurovision as well. Maybe not something that the juries will go crazy for, but it's a televote magnet, I think. There is a live of them available, and it sounds like the studio cut. That's amazing. We need a very, very good performance, though. We need like the staging. You need to bring out all of the big guns for this, because you got something here that you don't want to lose. You don't want to let this one slip. I'll tell you, Estonia. Very, very enjoyable. I had the time of my life with that. I'm coming back to it, but that's enough for now. We'll keep going through the running order, but wait, please stop. Gotta finish talking first. We'll keep going through the running order, keep going through the rest of the songs, and this one is song number 10. This one is called Be Good by Sofia Rubina, and we got, well, I guess she wants to be American, or maybe she is American. America! Yeah, we're not really sure what this American flag is gonna offer us, but I guess we're yet to find out. As I said, the song Be Good by Sofia Rubina with her American flag. Let us go. Or maybe not. Now let's go.
I know exactly what I like. Some call it fancy, but I like what I like. I know I'm one of the kind.
A little bit of a fun little bass arrangement here. We're bringing like kind of disco strings. So far it feels like it's all over the place, truly, in terms of its flow. Alright. We're at the karaoke bar Thursday night. The song is all over the place. Where's the flow to it? The percussion is... it's quite chaotic, really, but it has like a consistent drum beat to it, but it's just all over the place. And then we got the bass lines coming in here and there to kind of introduce the new beat. The strings and horns aren't really offering anything that makes sense within the song. And vocally, it feels like just freestyling throughout the whole thing. Alright, I think she's more probably of a performer than a songwriter. I don't know. We need a completely different rewrite of this. It's just all over the place, really. I don't feel like the purpose of the song really works. It doesn't feel like a package that works together. I think I'm not taking a chance on this song, I gotta say. And this becomes really repetitive now. Cue the drum snares to fill. And vocal freestyling. Okay, decent flow here, just allowing the instrumental to really shine. If you kick back the vocals like this, it's not... like, I feel like it's just maybe too much of too many things at the same time that really kills it. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Sophia, but I will not return to this. Not a chance. It was all over the place, and everything was all over the place in it. That is kind of the issue, I think. The percussion didn't really make sense, all that much sense to me, but there was like a consistent beat to it that could work, and then there was a little bit of a bass input leading into the new beats, and the strings and horns kind of just add as filler detail, really. But then the vocal was non-stop as well, so there were so many things going on at the same time that everything collided, and my brain really couldn't take it all in. It didn't feel like a very pleasant listening experience because there was too much going on and my mind just kind of became a mess from it. For the final little like 30 seconds or so, I guess it kind of started working because then the vocals were being held back and I could actually start and really take in what was going on instrumentally. But then it's already kind of too late. I understand that this will be a proper performance when we see it on stage, hopefully, because I think the ambition is more focused towards a performance than it is towards the song actually working. Because right now I feel like it was all over the place and I didn't connect with any of it. And I hope they're gonna have fun performing it because it needs to be fun. I guess the entertainment will really come from looking at it rather than listening to it. In my book, quite poor, in my opinion. I'm so sorry. Yeah, we'll continue through the running order here. We're halfway through now. We have another advertisement here. Mount Sour Cream Pop. Ho 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 ho. Pop. Popping delicious. World Pops, Italian style and Mexican style. Okay. And here we have Vinted. If you want a suit, I guess. Alright, song numero 11. We're halfway through and it's taken more than an hour to get here. Quite the session, this one. Alright. I think I'm gonna need like one break at one point, but not quite yet. We're gonna continue here. On screen right now you can see Jonna. And she doesn't know about me or us. Depends if it's singular or plural, of course. Jonna, I don't know about you. Will be song number 11, and I think we're just gonna get straight to it. Let's listen.
I don't know about you, but I'm always gonna love you.
We've got panning at least already, vocal processing as well. Heavily so, but that's a bit characteristic, really.
3 Decembers ago,
It's a nice little movement in the melody.
with a part of me with you. I wonder if I did right by telling you how I feel.
That's so soft.
But it will be
It's like an embrace.
with only dead ends and regrets as friends. I wonder if you go back.
What a chord interval!
Think about what could have been.
That's really emotionally gripping.
Change a thing.
Brilliant introduction to the song.
It's the last song I'm writing about you.
The chords are beautiful. Throw in the guitar there, make it really feel authentic.
Know about you, but I thought we were forever.
Feels like we're back on square one here.
But I guess we were never afraid to lose one another. We both moved on.
Kind of felt like I've heard this segment before, but with a better approach, like more strong approach that really spoke to me in a more convincing manner.
I wonder if I did right by telling you how
Having the synths sweep in and out here.
it will be
There's quite a nice breath in that.
with only dead ends and regrets.
Feels like we're having some kind of cello at the back as well.
Back to and think
Percussion has a very found object kind of sound to it.
change a thing. I have to let go.
It's like this kind of pulsating synth as well.
I'll keep your secrets. I know you keep mine. And I saw you
That's just to listen to these chords, how they move around.
silence between us. It's
Just the rhythm of it is very effective. Like how the guitar is layered into here.
none of it matters. None of it matters now.
We need a proper build here.
It matters now. Wonder if I did right by telling you how
I've got an arpeggio coming in instead. I felt like this would have been a grander space within the song here. The percussion actually kicking in. Instead we throw in a synth arpeggio.
and think about.
And now increasing it in velocity.
I know we won't change a thing. I have to let go. It's the last song I'm writing about you.
guitar comes in very nicely here. Feels authentic with that part. It kind of creeps in very subtly. Jonna, I don't know about your instrumental arrangement, if I will be completely honest here, because what you got here is a song with a beautiful melody, a beautiful chord structure, and then when you kind of have that concept, what I would have wanted you to do with it does not align with what you ended up doing with it. And that could just be a me issue, of course. Like, some people might love what you did with the song, but I feel like there is a concept for this song where you could absolutely build it around being a more expansive ballad kind of song. I feel like all of the digital inputs you threw into this song, excluding the kind of found object sounding percussion, is something that I wouldn't really sign under. I feel like there was a little bit of a hint of a cello in there. The guitars work very effectively, but what I would have liked is for the instrumental to be grander in a more analog way, I guess. I'm not fond of this arpeggio coming in. I'm not fond of the synths really taking over the song. I think you should definitely rely on strings and horns probably to really make the song be more convincing. It felt like also, I think the opening part of the song is among the most beautiful songs I've heard in this national final season so far. But as the song kind of leads into the second part, it feels like now we repeat what we had and introduced so beautifully, but with a different instrumental approach that did not really work for me. And then kind of more relying on the fact that we already have good concepts within the song, melodically and chord-wise, that when we build the song, we don't really need to focus on what made the first part of the song sound so great. Instead, we build off of this part that repeated the first part and that kind of instrumental approach. And then it kind of became like the song felt a bit too restrained as it progressed. It never really kicked into gear, and I think that that the song needed kind of a more warmer tone to it and more lush and fulfilling instrumentation to it. I think that's kind of the issue I have with it, because I feel like the concept that is behind this song is really, really beautiful, and the way the song opens is something that I could absolutely die for. You know, it's a beautiful introduction within the same vein of I guess Die Together by Amanda Tenfjord. It's a little bit similar in terms of this kind of vocal processing that it has. It's a very intimate opening. Really sets the tone nicely. There's a strong chord interval in there. There's a beautiful melody to it, and it sounds great sung as well. The only different thing is that Die Together built in a way that was way more effective and way more working for me, I guess. So yeah, I'm a little bit. I can't. Yeah, I can't say that I'm disappointed, because I expected something else, and I know I won't always get what I expect and what I want, but I think there was concept of doing this another way that would have worked more effectively. Okay, that was I Don't Know About You by Jonna, and we're going to move on. This is no. What am I doing? That is original. To all of you with a sweet tooth out there, now I guess you're getting your sugar rush. And here we have Anyone But You. Oh, this looks like a hilarious movie. Oh, this feels brilliant. Oh, and there's spiders in it. Yeah, I'm not watching that. Okay, next song up, this is number 12. And this is by, I'm not going to say my good friends, because that's not true. But, of course, Cartoon, one of my... well, no, not one of my favorite groups, but this is a group I am fond of. They produce music very, very well, and I've been aware of these guys for quite a long time, and I know people who know them, or whatever you say. I'm always looking forward to listening to what they put together. I hope it's them and not a different cartoon. Maybe it is. Who knows? They've at least submitted a song called Oblivion, and it's sung by Evert Sundia. And of course, Cartoon was in the selection back in 2000. 16, I would like to say. 16? Or maybe 17. And back then, I mean, I wasn't really like thinking it was among their better songs, but it was still pretty decent. Depends if you're into drum and bass. Yeah, they make drum and bass, and they make it pretty well. Strong production usually, so I hope that there's more of that in this. Cartoon and Evert Sundja with Oblivion, song number 12. Let's go. It's quite like a kind of anthemic opening here. It feels a bit Rag and Bone Man, Imagine Dragons, something they want to build like that. The engaging anthemic drumming here and this kind of chanting vocal style. Here comes the drum and bass beat in. It's an atmospheric approach so far. I like the vocal style. More of this dynamic percussion being introduced. Synths are growling very subtly. That's nice how the piano works in tandem with the melody, the rhythm of the melody. Filtering in the drums here. It's effective. It's an effective build. If this is gonna be the vocal kind of hook, I'm a little bit disappointed by it, but it still has the atmosphere going for it. The drums sound neat. The percussion style is well mixed. And I think these synth growls are quite convincing. That's definitely something that builds up a little bit of an atmosphere on its own. Drums come in very nicely here. It's well structured, absolutely. And the detailing is really strong. More of this like found object sounds in the percussion is always very appreciated by me. I think though the chorus definitely needs to rely more on a vocal melody because he sings it well. Oh, okay, we've got a little vocal variation him with him holding out the high note. Now this works for me. I'm very much into the ambience of it. And such a strong production on it, truly. Dynamic. The synth work is very strong and convincing to me. And that's when the song is over. I gotta say, this isn't really something that absolutely stands out and has a hook that is really all that memorable. And it's not a really catchy song at all. But it's incredibly well produced. It has an ambience to it that I think is very, very palpable. I think the vocal delivery is strong and convincing. He has a great tone within the voice that works wonders with this kind of music. And I think the drums overall sound impeccable and are structured very well within the song. They come in just at the right times. They're playfully aligned. They have a very distinct detail about them. There's an incorporation of found objects within the percussion, and it just feels very complete to me. It's not something that I think really like stands out, and it doesn't really evolve into anything. It does not feel like a Eurovision kind of song at all, but it's absolutely something that I could listen to at any time and just really, really enjoy and not pay too much attention to, I guess. But I think the atmosphere of it is definitely something that works for me, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they will do it live. I hope they really rely on shadows a lot and make a very visually stunning performance of it, and that of course that he sounds like this when he sings it live as well. Yeah, it's obviously like it's difficult for me to be a fair judge within this because it's a music style that I've listened to way too much. And that I get too much enjoyment out of, but I feel the atmosphere is done right here. I'm very, very impressed with the actual impact of the song, and it's expertly made production. So I can't really hold anything against them for this one. Maybe they should have been a bit more melodically varied for the chorus, because it feels like that could grow a bit tiresome. But it felt like it's also one of these songs that didn't feel long at all. It felt like it knew exactly what it wanted to do, and 3 minutes was just right to get everything done within the song, and in a very enjoyable manner as well. Good stuff. I like that. We'll move on to Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. It's just ads. Video playing soon, indeed. A symphony of bubbles. Sure thing. Time to try the best Coke ever? No. Okay. Alright. Unionen. Yes, indeed. Here's Ingmar. That's quite the name. In Sweden, you would only imagine people above the age of 80 to have that name. But yeah, this is Ingmar with the song Dreaming. This will be song number 13. And I think maybe after this one I need a little bit of a break. But we'll get to this one as well. It's spot on 3 minutes. It's called Dreaming. It's by Ingmar. And let's listen to it. That is very loud.
When I was young, I was told I can be who I want to be.
It's a very interesting vocal style that he's got.
Don't know why dreams I once had were not real. Why do we stop dreaming? No feeling the way we used to do.
Alright.
My heart's beating, soul screaming. I want to feel the same.
This also feels a little all over the place. Strings trying to take over. The percussion sounds like stock sounds, unfortunately. That doesn't add a lot to it. It's kind of musical-esque. He's still going all in for the vocal. The instrumental does not match the ambition of his voice. It's very restrained, quite minimalistic. It's kind of over-dramatic to me. I don't really feel the appeal of it so far. He's trying to do more with the song than really is there, I think. Large synth impacts here. They don't really feel like they have the impact that they require, though. And the backing vocals try to add a little bit of an atmosphere to it, which I guess can be admired.
Why do we stop?
Production is not good enough. It doesn't have a drive, it doesn't have an oomph, it doesn't have the power required. It's just too subdued. Yeah. Percussion sounds very off, in my opinion. He has a very impressive register, and he of course nails the notes, but I'm not sold on his vocal style either. I don't know, it just doesn't click for me. The instrumental does not match the ambition of the vocals either. It's not grand. It needs a complete rework. And this will even come across on stage. Sometimes you can shy away from a poor production, but this lacks impact. Throw in the electric guitar there to add a little bit of character. Very nice notes there to end the song on, but overall it's too overdramatic. It tries to be so much while it doesn't have the impact of being much. It has the impact of a very demo-esque kind of power ballad. Really, he tries to do a lot with the song, but there's not really a song there to do much with, I think. Melodically, it's not something that I will remember. The verses have already completely gone past me by. The chorus, there's something in there, I guess, and the backing vocals kind of add something. It's a little bit of a wide listening experience. but his vocal tries to do a lot with it, but song does not match the ambition, and the production is too weak in my opinion. It does not have the intensity, it doesn't have the grittiness, or kind of the no, it shouldn't be gritty. It doesn't have the intensity. It does not either have this kind of bombastic sound to it. It's not anthemic, even though it tries to be. I need to get an impression of more, I guess, more power from the instrumental, and it needs to be layered more effectively. Yeah, I'm very underwhelmed by that one. Not for me, unfortunately. But we will move on. Let's do one more. Why not? Sector Alarm. Yes, I need a new alarm at my place. Not at all. Okay. Oh no, it was only a hedgehog again. Alright. Useless ads. And another one. 15 seconds. Francesco Mutti. Yes, I need to buy ketchup. Of course I do. Oh, he's doing everything for his tomatoes. Terrible. Alright. Here we go. Okay. Anyway, Evert and the Two Dragons. Now, this is one of my favorite artists from Estonia. I probably shouldn't have looked at the name before starting this song, but my expectations just got shot through the roof. Okay, I'll try and be calm, but this truly is one of my favorite Estonian artists, and I've been obsessed with their song Circles for a very long time. This one is called Hold Me Now by Evert and the Two Dragons. Alright, let's listen to it. Don't let me down. Kind of go straight to the point. Not a building kind of song then. The vocal works decent for me, I guess. I'm getting a little bit of like a Bono vibe from it. It sounds a bit U2-esque, doesn't it? It sounds quite industrial, really. The guitar work here. I'm getting like a grey vibe of it all. The drums are effective here. Backing vocals come in nicely here. But so far it's not doing a lot of variation. The instrumental has been identical throughout the whole thing so far. Are we not going anywhere? This is staying in the same place. I mean, there's a warm kind of sound to it, but we're really not going anywhere. There's no variation in this. The drum fills again. This is very monotonous. Suffocates the whole thing. More grittiness in this bass walk that comes in here. Repeating the same vocals. The backing vocals are kind of effective, but this song is honestly quite a chore. It's an immersive kind of backdrop, but overall I'm just lacking some variation. Melodically, it's not interesting me either. Instrumentally, it sounds decent, but okay, I understand if I might have had too high expectations, but there was not really anything going on in the song, unfortunately. It feels like a proper, like, maybe like a final track on an album to just kind of close it all together, because it's just lacking of a proper structure. It does not build towards anything. It doesn't vary throughout the song. It's just very much stomping within the same place throughout for 3 minutes. It doesn't really do that much vocally either. There is a backing vocal, there is a lead vocal. They're kind of doing a little bit of a call response thing, and it comes together nicely at the end, I guess. And there is a little bit of a decent sound within the instrumental. I guess it sounds grey, it sounds industrial. I guess that's what they're going for. And it's also a bit warm in terms of its actual delivery. But as a song, I'm not really feeling the progression of it. I'm not feeling that there's an actual purpose to it. It's all just kind of a closer to me. This is what you have. Like if you're on a concert, if you're playing a gig, I guess, and you got another song that plays for the first 3 minutes, and then you just want to get, like, the crowd is involved with whatever you're doing, and you just want to keep the song going for 3 more minutes, to just, everyone is already invested into it and they don't want it to end, and you just keep playing. That's what this feels like to me. It doesn't have a proper opening. It just has like an extension of an encore, I guess, of just keep playing whatever you've played so far, because everyone is already invested in the moment. But here, the song starts off as if you're already invested into it. And I'm not, because I haven't heard the song that preceded it. Yeah, I'm very, very disappointed, because I don't feel any enjoyment in it. It sounds decent, like it has the sound that I'm very fond of. But it feels too, I guess, repetitive and monotonous. It's something that comes at the end of something else. It shouldn't start like this, and it didn't really take me anywhere. It didn't move a single place. I'm disappointed. I'm sorry. I love them still, but this is not a song that I will ever really return to, I think. I guess we'll keep moving on. We have 6 songs left. I guess we'll I need a break at some point, but I'm kind of just in the mood to keep going, so let's do that, I guess. We have the song here, which is song number 15 then, by Cecilia, and this one is called FOMO. And as I said, song number 15, let's hear it. Instant synth coming in. The pads as well. We have an atmosphere being established already. It's kind of like the vocal is coming in on the backbeat. That's intriguing. The vocal tone that she has really works with this atmospheric setting in the instrumental. I like how filtered out this kick drum is. I feel like the energy is really going to be built effectively here. Alright. We've got kind of a hardstyle inspired sound design going for it. Sine sounds in the synth to indicate new beats. Drum arrangement so far is honestly quite reminiscent of like Jump Up, Happy Hardcore. The vocals work effectively. Arpeggio's working a lot as well. We can cue the hardstyle remixes for this song, because there's gonna be a lot of them. The sound design is completely taken from there, and it's a proper intriguing flirt for me. I'd like more songs to have this kind of approach to them. The atmosphere is strong, it's compelling, vocals are very nice. Alright. A little monotonous in terms of melody here for the chorus. But the overall energy of the song is very, very infectious, I think. I really hope that they're not going to kill off the energy here, that they actually build on it, because I feel like the song needs an expansion. Keep going, yep. This is redeeming, I think. Melodic variation in the vocal keeps it going. The claps are effective as well. Yep, decent altogether there. It's a pretty solid production. It definitely has the energy going for it. I think the atmosphere is there. I think vocally it has something as well. She has a good tone that suits this backing track as well. It's vibey. I guess that's what you say. It's just the groove of it that kind of works. And I think the sound design is actually something that speaks to me quite a lot, because I feel I get the impression that the what do you call the no, not influence. It's influenced by music within a much more gritty music style, I guess. It has the hard style sound design to it, mainly through the kind of crushed sine-like synth work, and also the arpeggio works quite efficiently in this, and the percussion also has this kind of crushing sound to it, and all of that is working for me. I guess melodically it never really kicked into gear for me. I don't think it's a very catchy song in that regard. Maybe that will completely change as time moves on and I've heard it more times, but it's not something that I see myself going around and singing along to or that much, but I can definitely just tap my foot to it, have it on in the background and just enjoy it. And the sound design is quite neat, so all in all, pretty decent. I'll return to it and really make up my mind even more clearer about it in the future. But that was the song FOMO. 5 songs to go. Let's just keep going. Let's just get let's just get the last 5 ones. I shouldn't say out of the way, because obviously I'm enjoying listening to the songs, but I'll try and get them all. I'll try and listen to them all in the final, just in one go now. Okay. Here is Antsud with Vetevaim, or something. She's got quite the look. A lot of things going on in her face for some reason. Either way, Vetevaim by Antsud. Let's listen to what it sounds like. There's more of these music videos being recorded in a snowy forest. Well, the production is very much reliant on this analog kind of instrumental playing. Feels quite natural so far. The vocal is non-stop. I mean, they sound good together. The instrumental isn't doing much for me, and vocally there's really no variation to it so far. A little guitar solo, I don't mind that. The instrumental keeps going quite effectively here. It's a nice flow to it. Decent. I mean, there's something within the rhythm that is actually quite fun to it. It stands out in rhythmically and obviously also kind of atmosphere-wise, but I'm not sure if it's really that melodically engaging enough. Can grow a bit tiresome very fast if the vocal is so non-stop that I kind of get tired of it. I'm sorry. The scale back here is... it works. Yeah, it becomes too repetitive. The melodic variation isn't there, even though they sound decent together. It's all across the board, too much of the same thing. It needs kind of a story type of arc to it that makes you feel like you're part of the journey here. No twists and turns really. We're staying in the same place throughout here. I'm growing very tired of it. Yep. No, it's too much of the same thing really, and it doesn't really have an impact on me. I think the intensity of the song is nowhere really. It's all about being quite mellow in terms of delivery and impact, and then the vocals are just kind of overdoing their part. It's too repetitive for me. Even though they sound pretty decent together, and it's a unique kind of style and concept, and rhythmically it stands out as well. I just feel like there's not really enough melodic impression for me to latch onto, I guess. It just stays a little too much in the same place, and I'm not really gonna return to this. I think I'm happy for those who like it though, that you found something in this one. But for this kind of music to work for me, I need something more to really latch onto. This one didn't give me that, unfortunately. I will just move on from that one. Now I'm accidentally skipping a bunch of songs here. This is the one I should be on, I think. Yeah. Some more ads here. I'll just talk over this ad and say that it's absolute nonsense, but I will say while we're watching the ad that I'm very, very grateful to all 66 of you who are with me. Some of you have stayed from the start, I guess, and that's really, really cool. I mean, we're nearing up on 2 hours of listening to songs now. I hope you're having fun and I hope you're enjoying it. I've had proper standouts in here and some that I will probably never return to. Let's see what Bad Boy by Brother Apollo, what category that one will land into. This is song number 17 then, surely. Yeah, let's see what Brother Apollo here. Bad Boy, but no, I don't have anything clever, I'm sorry. Sometimes I want to think of something clever, but I don't have it. I was about to say the bad boy wrote a bad song, but that's too harsh. It's not bad. I don't think it is. But there are things in there that really work, but I feel like it's a little bit of a missed potential maybe, because I feel like they could do so much more with it. They could really grow very expansive with it, and instead they made it a little bit more commercial and gimmicky, I think. They rely a lot on a very repetitive chorus. They rely a lot on people really connecting with something cheeky about this I'm a bad boy, bad boy, bad boy kind of hook. And I guess it's catchy because of it, but it's also rather repetitive. Instrumentally, it feels a bit empty at times. I think like when the song really kicks into gear, there are times where I feel like, oh, the sound stage is actually really quite fulfilling. The synth work is really nice with this kind of instrumental track that is a little bit more gritty. I think the drumming is really strong. It's a properly performed drum segment within the song. And vocally, it's a little bit varied between the segments. Like there's a little bit of this kind of rap towards the end. There is also a little bit more of like the sweet song early on in the song. And the chorus, I guess, has a little bit of attitude to it. So, you know, it kind of has all of the aspects of it, but the overall impression I get is just kind of underwhelming. And especially when you consider that there are other rock songs that just has the intensity, has the drive. I see people mentioning Blind Channel in the chat, but it does not have that kind of absolute explosiveness of a Blind Channel. It doesn't have the hook. It doesn't have the energy of it. This is kind of a toned down version because they didn't want to go all out like Blind Channel did. And that is that is really what holds it back for me. I think you could make a song a bit gimmicky about being a bad boy, but then you also have to go all out with the instrumental, and I don't feel like they really did that here, unfortunately. It's not the worst one I heard today, but it's not something that I will really take with me, and I feel like it could have absolutely been improved in terms of its actual impact and delivery. So we only have 3 songs left, I'm quite certain, excluding ads, that is. We'll take a look at Norrskens Fil here. Aurora Light's own, what do you even call fil? It's like a kind of cream you make out of milk, I don't know. Alright, Jysk as well, yes indeed. Okay, here we go. Carlos Ucareda with Never Growing Up. This is song number 18, I'm pretty sure. So we're nearing the end. And this one, has a little bit of a silhouette opening shot here. Let's hear what it's all about. Never Growing Up by Carlos Ucareda. Let's see.
How do I start?
A little finger picking guitar.
I wanna break your heart, but I think we should talk.
This is a very intimate opening. Feels very personal so far. Drum comes in nicely here. Very radio friendly so far.
Some kind of fate. I don't know. We don't talk much anymore.
Input there from the other guitar. Effective.
Sees us, and they all think that we're okay, but we go from breaking up to making up. Seems like we are
This is simple and effective.
we're never growing.
It's an enjoyable, calm pop tune.
Yeah, we go from breaking up to making love. Seems like we are never growing.
Guitar layering is quite effective here as well. It comes with a little bit of strumming in the left here, I hear.
We take a break,
Drums pick up here, strumming picks up as well.
but we just can't be apart. We always listen to our heart when we should listen to our head. When everybody's coming home,
Vocal layering. It's quite strong harmonies here.
you away.
It's very soft and smooth and just pleasant to me.
We go from breaking up to making up. Seems like we are never growing up.
I don't think this is doing anything wrong. I think it's a pleasant pop tune. It's pretty catchy as well.
Seems like we are never growing up. We're never growing up.
That's a nice impact there as well. All of the sounds come in, elevates it a little bit. And this is a neat continuation of the second chorus. I think it should jump. Like, obviously the structure is so predictable. It should have just led into the final chorus there instantly. I don't get why you have to do this. I don't feel the intimacy of this segment, dude. No. Those drum hits were not effective, and now we got a half-step beat for the final chorus. I guess that's interesting because it's a little bit of a switch up. Are we going full time again for the second half? A little pause there. Yeah. I could see this being very prettily staged and work very effectively. Yeah. I did quite enjoy that. It's just a solid pop tune altogether. I could put that on at any time and absolutely not turn it off. It's just pleasant to have on at any time, really. I think the vocals are quite strong, really. I think there's something a little bit personal in it. It feels a bit too, I guess, maybe not by the books, but it feels like they're trying to do more with it than it should be. It gives me that kind of, I know maybe it's a bad example, but I had a very strong issue with the song She Got Me from Switzerland in 2019, because there is this part towards the end where they kill the music and he tries to be super emotional and just really crying on his knees that, oh, she got me dirty dancing. And I get the vibe from this as well, because it tries to be so, oh, this is so sad and I'm so weepy about this, and it just I don't like that aspect of it. It's too much of that, and that kind of holds this one back a little bit. I do not feel the emotion that hard or that much like you do when you sing this. It's not that deep, I think. However, the instrumental approach that it has is what do you say? The instrumental approach I have is fulfilling, because it feels like it actually does what it wants to do. It has the elevations required, it does the necessary improvements throughout the song, and there is actually quite a structure behind it as well, that the song actually grows. So I can't really fault it for any of those things, and I think he sings it pretty decently. And there is absolutely staging potential for this, to really utilize lights and just a proper staging to actually make this one really click through the camera. I'm quite fond of it, truly. I see a not too bad 7 out of 10 comment in the chat, and maybe that's where I kind of land as well. It's not too bad. It's a solid pop tune. It's not something groundbreaking that I will ever really just say that, oh, you really have to listen to this song. But I mean, I could imagine that coming up on the radio at any time, and I would just be like, yeah, I'm not going to switch the radio station because of this. I'll just sit there, tap my hand on the steering wheel when I'm out driving or something, and just move on to the next song, really. All right, we have 2 songs left. I was about to say we've been flying through these, but we really haven't. We're closing up on 2 hours now. This is Peter Pöder with Korravel. Sorry about pronouncing it like that, Peter, but I'm ignorant. You gotta let me off with a hook there. Let me off the hook. Peter Pöder with Korravel, indeed. Song number 19. Let's go. Oh, where are we? You need to implement this on the staging. Building up quite the universe here. That's a vocal. Straight in the middle. The arpeggios are going crazy on both sides. Okay. I see. Relying on synthwave. The drumming is very energetic. Guitar thrown in there as well. Some effective bass works. Great flow. Here comes a little bit of a harmony for his vocal with this very warm synth. I like how the arpeggio is switching in velocity. Sing it! My. That's effective. What an atmosphere they're building in this song. I like this kind of like just subtle guitar being implemented into it as well. It's like a very tingling sound on the plucks as well. The arpeggio is such a nice detail to it being constant in this. The flow of it as well really works. And his vocals are strong, and I love that it's in Estonian. I love these parts. How they scale back the music, just have subtle impacts, and he screams out the vocal. This is engaging to me. Great way to build as well. I hope there's a lot of ambition into this performance as well. It's always difficult to know though, what are they gonna do in the performance during the instrumental breaks? We have to find out, I guess. But it's a very pleasant tune. Proper foot tapper as well. Oh, that was it. That actually felt quite short. I enjoyed I loved every second of it. Truly. What a great song. Very, very short and sweet and simple and straight to the point. Doesn't do a lot really instrumentally. It's all about just the atmosphere that it's created and being a synthwave song. I mean, that kind of stands out a little bit, but really how it works so well with his vocal style is something that I think really knocks it out of the park, I guess. The structure is completely fine. There's no real point throughout the song where it really holds back or anything like that. It just goes through every segment with a purpose, I feel. It's not trying to do anything groundbreaking, which I would admire about this, because it just knows what it is. It wants to be somewhat restrained, but also be quite catchy, be engaging, but in a soft and enjoyable manner, while allowing the vocal to be a bit more the shining aspect of it, I guess. I'm very fond of it, and I'm very intrigued by the whole music video concept to see what they're gonna cook up for the live performance, because it could absolutely be something that really sells it, and then I would be cheering for it. Absolutely. It would be nice to have a song like this in Eurovision as well, I think, but it obviously has quite a strong competition. All right, we only have one song left, and this one is called Wunderbar, like German. Do we have a song in German in the Estonian national final, or is the word Wunderbar also in the Estonian language? What do I know? I'm ignorant, you know. Yeah, Wunderbar, or maybe in Estonian it's pronounced something like Wunderbar. I don't know. Oh, it only has one word in German. Okay, good to know. The song is at least titled in German, and the artist name is titled in English. So this is Traffic, and the song is called Wunderbar, and this is the official video, and it's the final song, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's the final song, so let's go. Oh, I muted it. Well, hee hee. Got the synth bass kind of establishing the energy of the song so far, along with the kick drum. Slight detailing with the pluck there. This is a warm sound to it. Very smooth. The sweeps. That's a very convincing guitar being thrown in here. Good melody. Okay. We've got kind of like a happy hardcore vibe about this. It's the house piano chords. The verses are very nice. I like his vocal style. I think it sounds very warm. That vocal processing you can do without. Take that out. I like this little detailing here and there as well. It's panning. This part is very strong. It's a very strong bridge. How the guitar comes in there, kind of out of nowhere, but it just fits this warm sound that they have going for them. And it's a catchy little melody to it. Yeah. I'm enjoying this. It makes me happy. Puts a smile on my face, really has the melody going for it. The instrumental is varied throughout, and not to a point where it feels like it's clashing with the other segments. Yeah. This is a proper mood booster. What a way to end it on. I get so happy from this melody. Nice with the vocal layering here as well. It could be very off-putting with this vocal style on the backing vocal, but it just works. It feels inviting, it feels charming. and the instrumental has such a warm energy to it. That song truly was wunderbar. I really enjoyed that. It had such a warm, cozy feeling about it. It had energy at the same time. It wasn't something that just felt warm and comfortable. It also gave kind of this very danceable sound to it, and really kind of knocked it out of the park with just joy and happy vibes. And it really left an impression on me to just kind of throw all of the misery in life out the window and just enjoy the moment that this song is on. And I think I really managed to do that. It took my mind off everything else, and that's really quite admirable. I really enjoyed that. Very strong finale for the selection as well. Thank you very much, Traffic. We will actually take a quick look at the recap because I can't remember all of the songs we've just heard. So I will just look that up really quick, and I will give you maybe like a top 5 or something of my own. I'm not sure. It's difficult to put together everything. What do we say? To put together 20 songs and really pick out like 5 that I think are the absolute best of them, to remember all of them. But I will just, as we go along with the recap, I will tell you just briefly what I thought of every song, not with any detail or anything, because I can't remember everything. But if you have missed parts of the stream, I will upload it to YouTube so you can rewatch it for the songs that you want to check. I hope you don't get stuck in traffic route. Be careful on those snowy roads. Thank you, Alipan. It's actually very poor. The roads are very poor in Sweden today around where I'm going to be driving. So I'll be very careful driving. Thank you for your concern. The Portuguese lineup came out and cleared the rest of Europe once again. Yeah, but Andy, you're the most biased person on the planet, so I won't listen to you that much. But obviously I'm expecting it to be good. No doubt. Let's see. Here we have the recap by Misja Eurovicia again, of course. Wonderful. And I'll just take it quickly and look through it and really tell you which ones I really thought were standouts. So let's listen. Maybe they'll come in a different order now, I just realized. Yeah, and the audio quality is horrendous all of a sudden. What happened here? This is probably my favorite song in the selection, honestly. Too much fun. But the audio quality here is awful. What happened? Why is everything clipping? What happened in this recap? I'm sorry, I'm not checking that out. That is a terrible... The audio quality is awful. What happened? What happened? I need to go for something else. Let's actually take these. There is one that is like the semi-finalist and one is automatic finalist, and then I can actually see as well which ones are which. Oh, it's radio rips. Of course it is. That makes sense. All right, we'll redo it. Hopefully this is not with the radio rips. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, this one was the most enjoyable out of the selection, surely. I'm gonna be returning to this one a lot. Professionally put together as well, even though it's funny, you know. It does both fun and memorable and catchy in a good way. Serotonin, this one kind of passed me by, I guess. It had some things about it, but it's not one of these that I really take with me. A little middle of the road, I guess. Not for me, this one. This one, I'm not going to be returning to, unfortunately. So how many of these songs are going to qualify again? Is it only 5 out of all of these 15? Let me know. FOMO was cool. I can cheer for this one if they really nail it live. It had an enjoyable sound design to it. It pains me to say Evet and the Two Dragons, but I'm not cheering for you. I can do without this. Unfortunate. Didn't connect with this at all. Yeah, 5, okay. No Dog on a Leash, this one was really cool. It was one of the earlier songs that we listened to, of course, but wonderful atmosphere in it. Great flow. I think the opening part of the song really knocked it out of the park. I'll be cheering for that one, I think. Dreaming is not something that I will return to. The instrumental needs a proper rework. We'll see what he's gonna do with it live, but... Yeah, no. This one is not going through, surely. That's where I draw the line. This one's not making it through. I'm sorry, Laura. I can definitely get behind Oblivion. I did really enjoy the instrumental approach of this one. I thought the production was stunning. Hopefully it's performed live very well. I'll be cheering for this one, for sure. I think he's probably pretty given going to the final. Pretty strange that he's not already there, isn't it? If they picked 5, if juries picked 5, and he was the runner-up last year. There's a lot of good songs in the semi-final, isn't there? I'm cheering for this, absolutely. This one stood out to me. Very engaging in terms of its ambience. But yeah, this one was pretty decent as well. The minimalistic approach it had. Vocals were really pleasant. And I like the arrangement of this. And that one was enjoyable. Yeah, this one I'll be without. I'm terribly sorry. All over the place. In the worst kind of ways. Was this the worst one? Might be, honestly. This one surely has to go to the final. If they perform it live, this one has to be there. It's a proper party anthem. I'm gonna listen to this one so much. So much. This one was a little underwhelming, but it had really beautiful moments to it. Very pretty song, with a strong concept behind it. But the instrumental progression didn't really work. Or did work, but it didn't fit for my expectations. And that was everything. I have to say... Oh yeah, we have to listen to the automatic qualifiers as well, but... Five of those, only 5. I'll just quickly take a look. Let's see. Surely, I mean, this one, absolutely. I'm not repeating the title. I will never repeat the title, but this one's going through. It has to, at least. Like, I'm starting to think, will I even put Ollie through? Like, if I personally chose the 5 songs, I'm not so sure, honestly. I'd like Coraville. I want that one through. I absolutely want Wunderbar. That's 3. I can't only have men, can I? Yeah, no Dog on a Leash and FOMO. Oh, this is gonna be tough because I also want Oblivion, of course. And then there's Ollie. And maybe this last one, honestly. I'm not picking. That's too difficult. Can we let like 7 or 8 songs through? Okay, automatic finalists. Let's check out which those ones are. Let's take a quick look. You'll lose 2 to 3 at least. Absolutely. Places, really. It was a bit unexpected that this one is already qualified, but it's a solid pop song. I don't mind it, but I think it's not something that Estonia will end up sending eventually anyway, so... This one, absolutely. It should be here. Beautiful arrangement. Strong composition, wonderful vocals. This one has to be here. Good decision. That one's going nowhere. I barely remember this one. I remember the Snowy Forest. This feels a bit strange to already have qualified, honestly. Vocals are decent, and it had like a good bridge to it. And this one... Okay, in my opinion, the only one that really should be an automatic qualifier is Over the Moon. Like, if you want to have this system, Over the Moon is by far the best song in here. That is one of the, I guess, like, that one surely is a top 3 contender in the final. It has to be. If it's done well live, of course. But the other ones, I don't really feel any excitement about them. They are all very no. Obviously, Bad Boy is not very safe or commercial or anything like that. But it's a bit on the weaker side for being a rock song. It feels strange to have picked it ahead of Ollie, who is obviously a huge fan favorite from last year. But Never Growing Up, Kete Umberie, and Still Love, they all feel very subtle and just kind of restrained and mellow, and that it feels a bit underwhelming. It doesn't really scream final vibes. There's no reason for this system to exist. You have 20 songs, just have 2 semis and send 5 through from each. I agree. Just do that. That would have been so good, so much better. But then again, the semifinals could be incredibly imbalanced. So you gotta rig it somehow, I guess. But yeah, I don't really know. ERR only had budget for 2 shows this year. Well, okay. Then why don't you just have one final with all 20 songs? I mean, Eurovision has 26 songs in their final, so then you save money from having a semifinal as well. Just have a final with 20 songs. Is that too much? If it is, just kick out 5 of the songs that aren't competitive anyway. I mean, yeah, too much time? Then kick out the bad songs. I can help you out. I'm just kidding. Okay, anyway, we seem to agree on every take here, Groot. Coraville is my winner with FOMO second and 5 Minus third. Yeah, I mean, 5 Minus is definitely my favorite. Absolutely. So not my third. And I don't think I would have the other 2 in my top 3, but Coraville is probably in my top 5, I would say. And FOMO just outside, I guess. So yeah, we like the same songs. I think it was a pretty good selection. There were a lot of good stuff in it. Yeah, I'm gonna now when I finish this stream, I'm gonna go for my drive, of course, but I will listen to a lot of the songs again. Then they won't have time for their 1 hour long news break. Blessing in disguise is what I tell you. Okay, anyway, thank you for joining me today. I will try and get this one up on YouTube as soon as possible, but thank you so much for joining me. Have a great one. I will see you tomorrow. We're doing a live stream of watching. I won't be streaming any visual content down there from Eesti Laul. I was thinking about doing both Eesti Laul and MGP tomorrow night, because both are happening, and Eesti Laul starts almost 2 hours before MGP. So yeah, I'm gonna see if I can make that work. But yeah, see you tomorrow. Either way, have a great one, and thank you for wishing me safe driving. I will drive as well as I can. Trust me, I am a good driver. Have a great one. Good night and bye bye. See you soon again.